Welcome to OsteoBites, everybody. Today is a so great day on OsteoBites because we get to speak with 4 of our junior board members on topics that they chose to speak about.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Friedman. I'm 24 from Northern New Jersey. I will be talking about life after osteosarcoma and the emotional, physical, and social obstacles for both the patient and the caregiver that come with that. And why I picked this was because physically, throughout treatment, I was okay. I'm tough in that sense, but in regard to the mental that comes after, not so strong. So I found that to be really difficult, and I'm sure other people will or have. And I wanted to share what my thoughts are behind the things that come after osteosarcoma and how to help navigate that. So I'm Brandon Friedman from Northern New Jersey, and I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in the proximal left tibia, similar to Kara, in January 2019. I had limb salvage surgery in April of 2019. And then I graduated from University of Maryland while in treatment in May of 2019 and went on to complete my treatment in October of 2019. So I've been cancer-free for about 2 years now, and I'm living in New York City, and I work for Citibank full-time. So the emotional obstacles that come along after OS is the scanxiety, that gut-wrenching feeling of when you feel like you could be back to normal, but then you're ambushed with a doctor's appointment where you have to go feel those nerves again. And how I like to reframe this is that doctors are your best friends. The checkups and the scans are really big positive, and they help you detect any abnormality early so it can get taken care of rapidly if needed. And skipping appointments won't stop cancer from coming back or growing. So if it's going to happen, you want to be on top of it anyway. So that goes right into the fear of reoccurrence. And this is something that one of my nurses told me, that just because you're a cancer survivor, it doesn't mean you're not allowed to have normal human being symptoms like pains or stomach aches, headaches, a cold, pain, bone, tweak this. It's not always going to be cancer, and in most cases it really isn't. I remember after finishing treatment, maybe 3 months after, I got a cold and I had a cough, and I immediately called my oncologist and I said, something's wrong, you have to bring me in and check me out. And she said, you have a cold, we'll see you when you're scheduled to come in, take a deep breath. And of course 2 days later I got better because it was a cold. And just overall emotional distress and well-being, using your resources, speaking with a mental health professional, creating an environment that makes you feel at ease and not bring back, as Anne said, those PTSD feelings. All throughout treatment, my mom used this specific hair conditioner, and now if I smell it, it like really sends me right back to that feeling. So when she knows she's going to see me, she doesn't use it, which is, very thoughtful and nice. So, with sarcoma, the physical aspect is really the biggest thing. And, for most of us, if not 99%, it goes on for the rest of your life until, hopefully there's some sort of medical technology where we're all getting limbs and, biological connections, etc. But the rehab of a lost or operated limb, it's tough and it's aggravating and stressful, but you just have to be patient. And recovering muscle and function takes a lot of hard work, effort, and time. And you have a team of medical professionals like your surgeon, physical therapist, who work with you. I had a couple problems with my operation that led my recovery to being much slower than what the average was for a similar surgery. And I remember I looked at my surgeon, I said, do you think I'll be able to climb stairs foot over foot, within the next couple years? Because that was something I couldn't do, but it was important to me. And he looked at me and he said, truthfully, I'm not sure. We're going to have to see how everything heals and how you do. And 3 months from that appointment, I was going up and down stairs, just by putting in the work and being patient and setting goals, which, really meant a lot to me. The feeling of being functionally disabled. So this is a really important way to think about it is, we're not disabled because of what we went through and the medical attention we received. We're now enabled to do the things that we want to do and we can do. We were given a second chance to, still hold on to those things. So what I like to do is I like to, when I'm feeling down that my friends are going to play pickup basketball and I can't do that, or they're playing softball or going for a jog, it is frustrating to be 24 and not be able to do those things. But what I do is I list the things out that I can do or look through pictures of things I've done. And, it makes me happy and proud to see I can do things. And the fear of injury, which is, something that I'm sure all of us feel and will feel, just being nervous of a slip or a fall. Just be smart, using your best judgment. If it's raining out and icy, don't go outside without, a brace or a cane or wearing flip-flops. So just being smart and being proactive about, keeping your legs safe. So some of the social problems that you can run into. So it's hard for me to connect to, younger adolescents where, the people around you, let's say you're anywhere from 8 to 12, don't really understand what's going on. Being 21, when I was diagnosed, everyone pretty much around me in my social settings knew what it was. But just being confident in your body and your functional aids. We're unique and special people. And, if you're using crutches or you wear a cast or you use a cane or a knee brace, if you saw in the pictures from the opening slides, I was playing golf and hiking in Arizona and, I was in a knee brace and I was proud. I was just happy to be out there, happy to be hiking, happy to be on a golf course. I didn't care that people were looking, at my knee brace, and to them, they probably think it's just a knee sprain. It, doesn't have to be a heavy story. So anyway, for the benefit of us, most people only care about themselves. They're not even looking or, they're not even judging. They're indifferent to it. So socially feeling alone, luckily here we all are with MIB Agents. It's, the epicenter to not feel alone in this. There's such a wonderful organization and network where you can connect with people of all different ages, from teens to even older. There's really someone for everyone with a similar experience that can really connect, and you can use, the organization as a resource. And owning your own story. If you want to tell someone about the story, then do. And if you don't, then don't, and what's the most important is having the people, closest to you, such as best friends or family, respecting your decision on the story, where, it's not their story to share, it's your story. So if you don't want it shared, they should respect that as well. And that's for, parents on the line too. So, those are some of the hardships of life after, and how I like to, kind of wrangle them in. So if there's any questions, please feel free to, ask away.
Thanks, Brandon. I love so much about what you said, and I have lots of questions, and I have a couple of questions that also came in. The first, I'm going to ask everybody this question. If you could give back osteosarcoma, if you had the choice, knowing what you know now, would you give it back?
It's such a tough question. it's how, I guess, you weigh the physical sacrifice of it versus what it makes you as a person. And it happened for a reason, and I'm hopeful that my life guides it that way. So, I'm okay to accept it and go forward with it and see, why this happened and figure that out. There will be a point where I see the purpose of it, which will be, if I'm not already.
Well, I think you are. And I think also you, just by telling your story and what you're doing with your life today, is working at City, that's a really big deal. And just telling your story, just that part of telling your story offers a lot of hope, because as a parent, when you have a child going through this, you're like, what's going to happen to, all of these plans that I know my child wanted to be an astronaut, or I know my child is in hotel school at Cornell, or whatever the case is, you have sort of expectations of yourself and expectations of your child, and here you are, like you're doing
Right.
this really cool job in New York City.
Yeah, no, there's hope. There is, and getting to, a relatively normal life is totally feasible and absolutely within the cards. You may not be able, as I said, to play pickup sports, which bums you out, but you can leave your apartment or home, go to a dinner, spend time with your loved ones. There's trade-offs. You trade some physical things for growing, monumentally as a person.
Was it, so you were 21 when you were diagnosed. Did you go back to school? Like, were you in school at the time? Oh, sorry.
So
Stop share while I'm,
so
thanks.
so I was diagnosed in the gap between the first semester and the second semester of my senior year. So I finished my senior year, the second semester, online while going through treatment. University of Maryland was very accommodating, where they allowed me to take in-person classes online, and I was able to finish on time. So I graduated during treatment.
I mean, it's just amazing. I seriously, I couldn't lift my head off the pillow, like to study on any level, like to even read a book. Like I was so weak. Like I remember like the book just sort of flopping over. So my husband got me a Kindle because it was lighter and I could read a book. Like it's pretty amazing that what you did and that you did it. So post treatment, did you find it difficult to relate to people your own age afterwards, because they hadn't sort of faced death? And
it does, and that is there. And as you get further and further away and kind of start to participate in normal life, you kind of come back to earth in that sense. But I do remember in the very beginning complaints that other people have, I didn't really have the patience to listen to, like, someone getting really riled up about missing a subway, whereas like, oh, you missed your subway, like I'm, getting chemotherapy, or I feel terrible, afterwards, but that's also when you work with a mental health specialist, they teach you ways to, cognitively reframe and understand that, not everyone is so, they're not understanding of what you went through, and it's just life.
good point on mental health on that level, because otherwise you would have no patience for, especially kids, I think, who go through this during high school or middle school. How do you go back and relate
Right.
to, I don't like my parents? It's like,
Yeah.
you go through this, your parents are kind of all you have, like every day, day in and day out, and siblings. So yeah, hard to deal with that. Can you go downstairs? How are you at downstairs?
Downstairs, good.
You can do
Downstairs, it's kind of just like bend my knee a little and then drop my body weight and catch myself on the other leg, but it works.